Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, you ready, Michelle? Call the June 24th Osage County Commission meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good evening. Okay, we have one commissioner by phone, Mr. Smith. And
Present.
Ms. Cooter and myself are present. Michelle Morris is present. Josh and I will be available if needed. Additions, deletions to the agenda. Am I missing anything?
Sam needs removed and added to next week, and Sheriff Wells would like added for some payroll changes.
Remove discussion with Sam and add to next week. And then Mr. Wells has
Some payroll changes.
payroll changes.
I bet you've been on the corner
Yeah.
roundabout.
Yeah, I saw him coming in, looked like somebody rear-ended somebody.
No, they didn't rear end, they just drove through and drove onto the median
Oh.
and hit the median and went bounce and got turned to the right and bounce on the other median and missed the car that was sitting there by just inches.
Wow.
She got around the corner
Oh.
and stopped and looked.
So that happened, that must have happened after I went by.
Yeah, it was right as I was coming, well,
Because
just before.
there was just the car with a flat tire when I came around.
And that was it.
But you say something happened after that?
No, something happened before that.
Oh,
The car was
okay.
flat tire, they flattened it when they hit the median.
Okay.
Okay, do we have anything else? I'll need a motion to approve the agenda with the omission and addition.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, public comment, anybody here that's not on the agenda? Yes, sir.
Since it's kind of a related items, but we need to do it in brevity, I would like to make it under public comment because it's primarily only business concerning these things that are on the agenda for a lot of the issues. So if I could have a maximum of 5 minutes, and I would prefer to keep it 3.
You'll give you 3. How's that?
We'll make the attempt at it.
All right. We're pretty flexible here.
You ready for it?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll step up to the mic.
Please state your name and all that too, so.
I'm Jim Foster. I'm from Carbondale, Kansas. And I've got essentially 3 issues to talk about. And it's primarily NextEra and their leases that they issue for these green power projects. And when you look at NextEra, you see all these other different subsidiaries and everything else that come to it. So it's not just NextEra by itself, it's their kind of a parent company to a lot of them. That will come important in a little bit here. But what was important to the lease that they brought out in front of me when we read it, and I realized what it did and didn't do, and how much it took away from a lot of people, including myself as a landowner, and including you as a commission to be able to regulate. And I brought that to the commission meeting and sat down with their papers and their paperwork, and their lawyer, and she said, no, it didn't do that. And I said, page so-and-so, paragraph here, sentence that, read it. And there it was. And she couldn't deny it. She didn't deny it. So there is problems with these leases that go back long before they start talking any other problem or prospect. So we need to be working on these leases because what we give up as landowners, you also give up as regulators. So we've got to be looking at that. Why you would give up your ability to regulate is beyond me. The next issue is the pilot program. The pilot program is a voluntary, repeat, voluntary ability to pay what they think is a tax, payment in lieu of taxes. Well, all this NextEra has to do, if they put up the deal and put up the rest of it, is change the name. And since the name change, they won't have the deal that they signed, they're not obligated for the deal to pay the pilot program. So whenever we think we're going to have this whole lot of money coming from pilot program, that can evaporate quicker than a pie crust promise. Pie crust promise is one of those that's easy to make and twice as easy to break. So we've got to be able to keep that going. So there's a lot of things that we have to learn how to regulate, learn how to control, and what have you. Which brings us to the last subject, which is the land use deal. And I've spoken before the commission before of who that I recommended that these people get in contact with, was a professor at Lawrence, who I know knows land use because him and I were in the same place at the same time, and he was commenting about it. Is that happening? No. Is there things happening to be able to include the townships and what have you, to get them more included into the regulatory and visionary process? No. So as for approval of the land use plan, no. So we're not up to date to be able to take care of the Nextera lease, or the leases, whatever we're calling it. We're not informed enough to be able to take care of the pilot program to where that we can get sucked into and then end up with nothing. And speaking of ending up with nothing, since the township I care for, and you know where it's at, and you know where that power transfer station's at. Think of all the heavy trucks that go in and out of there. Do we get a penny to maintain those roads from any of that? No. We don't need that type of thing throughout the county. We can't afford to be able to have to take care of that. And with the pilot program, who knows what we'll have. So there's so many things that we have to look at besides whether we like the issue, don't like the issue, look like environmental issues and what have you. If we can't get these things straight in the beginning, the only thing we're doing is guaranteeing a problem for generations. Any questions?
No, but there is one of the edits that was added to the plan was that the cities and the townships would be, the cities and townships would be asked to give their perspective on a land use issue. So that's, I don't know what
Well,
section of the book it was added
There's a
to.
minor detail to it, but we almost should be there when that they're coming before the board to be able to speak, to be able to get the original permit.
Mhm.
So the deal of it is we're still an afterthought. And by being an afterthought, somebody comes along and makes a judgment call before we get there. As an example, we have a guy trying to build a house on a minimum maintenance road that wants us to build the road for him. No, it's a minimum maintenance road. It is what it is. The statutes are, and what have you. And that should have been taken care of quite a little bit, and should have been actually taken care of by land use, because this wasn't taken care of in these plans and what have you. This has been a pet issue of mine for a long time, getting the planning and zoning taken care of. And it's not her fault. We can go back a lot of years on that, and I've spoken a lot of years about it. So anyway, I expect I better leave room for other people to talk. You've probably heard enough of it by now, but I hope I've got it across and you understand what that I am concerned about. And those issues need to be addressed before we do anything else. Because we can't get it square from the start. It just goes in every direction possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next. Yes, sir.
Shannon Hart, Carbondale. I think I know most of you. I understood and heard the deletions from the agenda. I did not hear what the addition was. Is the addition voting on the comprehensive plan?
No, it was Chris Wells' payroll changes.
Was
But-
the addition?
Yes,
Yeah, but the comp plan is already on the agenda.
yeah.
Oh, I did not see that on the agenda.
Yeah.
At least not when I printed it off. Maybe I missed it.
It's on there.
Thank you. I went to Shawnee Heights. I didn't learn to read.
Anyone else? Like to speak? Yes, ma'am.
I like to say before you. It's Diane and I'm in rural Carbondale. And I know that a lot of this has been discussed before. I've been to the planning and zoning meetings. I've seen, heard what the changes were and everything. I think that the other gentleman's issues are addressed with what is going to be presented or was presented on June 17th as far as the comprehensive plan. So I would like to request that the commissioners approve the comprehensive plan as submitted on June 17th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, anyone else like to speak? Anybody? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hope this goes well. My name is Joe High. I live south of Osage City on Deerich Road. My understanding, not really up on all the details on this solar factory, essentially, solar farm that is proposed that you're going to be voting on. I was told that this could be like a two-phase plan, one of them involving 12,000 acres, another one 8,000. That's a tremendous amount of square miles that is going to be taken out of productivity for ranching, farming, wildlife. You're going to have a lot of, bear in mind, I envision this being one, covered area, covered with solar panels. A lot of problems you're going to have. It's almost like covering the earth with concrete. You're going to have a lot of water runoff, and you'll have a lot of glass breakage from hailstorms. And maybe the worst of all is these panels that I've read up on, researched them. They don't last forever. Maybe 30 years maximum. And then you either get rid of the solar farm or else you replace with new. And then what do you do with the old panels? There's very little in them that can be recycled in the way of cadmium, zinc, whatnot. The rest goes to glass. And the expense of recycling those panels is greatly exceeds the cost of buying a new one. So this will force the county to deal with trucks and equipment, transporting those old panels someplace to be disposed of, probably in a huge landfill someplace. And you look at the volume of glass, it's really astronomical. So it just seems like just an overall bad idea, particularly for the environment. When you cover that much area of such a beautiful, productive area as we have in Osage County, to me, it just seems that the whole plan is just borders on the obscene. And it's just not necessary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else would like to speak? All right, well, we will close the public comment at this time. Move on to other business. First on the agenda, under unfinished business, land development, Tricia Webb, comp plan. Oh, nice.
I got it, yep.
Resolution. So there are some changes that Brandon proposed in this, page 15. that receives their water from Coffee County Rural Water District 3, not from wells. And then he suggested on page 84, under environmental quality, bullet number 5. Encourage waste stream reduction through the promotion of recycling. So his comment was that the county currently receives the recycling and takes it to a different dump, and that costs the county money. So if we were to take that out, we could just continue that, and it would save us money.
Which, I mean, that's I can see exactly what he's saying, because that was my thoughts exactly, but I think this just says through promotion of recycling, not necessarily
Yeah.
the county continuing to,
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah.
I don't know, it's a matter of verbiage, if we took it out, we can still promote it. And,
Yeah.
or leave it in, six one way, half dozen the other, but I don't know.
What if you just
together.
put, well, I was gonna say maybe availability, but that, I mean, if people want to recycle, they can promote self-recycling. The county ends up not continuing the program. I guess we just wanna make sure that it doesn't say that we're, I guess, guaranteed to continue that or something.
Right. Brandon, you have some thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I don't know, I just didn't want to kind of lock in and tie hands on it, you know what I mean? As far as, I think the whole thing was set up with some subsidies probably to start with, and to my knowledge, they're not there right now.
Yeah.
So I didn't, that's something I haven't spent a lot of time looking into, but I know some people questioned me about it and asked me about it, and I didn't have any good answers for them as far as what the county plans to do in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's a substantial amount of money. Ryan and I kind of went through it somewhat. I don't really feel comfortable putting a number out just yet until we have one really narrowed down, but it is a substantial amount of money that we spend in doing that, and the process is flawed greatly. I don't have any problem with removing it. I mean, obviously, we can take it out and we can still continue to promote recycling.
Yeah. So those were the only changes that I had. And I did want to address Mr. Foster, so you'll like this one. On page 83, explore the development of a policy requesting the local cities and townships review and comment on development and zoning proposals in their vicinity before taking final action.
Thank you. 40-some odd years, I had a meeting on that. Thank you. She's good. She has been good every time I have ever called upon her and asked her a question.
Yeah.
So as negative as I am, I want to be that much positive about her. Okay?
That's pretty positive.
I know. So, if you guys decide that you want to pass this tonight, you will need to make a motion that includes just passing the resolution, but also to change page 15, that all that receives their water from Coffee County will water free.
Amend page 15 to all of that purchases water from Wars 3.
And if you decide to take the bullet 5 environmental quality out on page 84.
Bullet 5 on page 84. That was pretty much it, correct? That was it.
Yes.
I will be honest, I haven't had time to fully go through it. I have gone through some, so I haven't seen that. But if the two of you have gone through it and are comfortable with it, then I'm not gonna stop any kind of action. I know. So it will be up to one of you to motion, but, I will state the motion. I will need a motion to approve resolution, oh, don't have a number, sorry.
Can I make one comment?
Well, you can make comments after I make the motion.
Well, I was just, with the gentleman that spoke last, so we're not considering allowing or disallowing a solar project tonight. This is a comprehensive plan, and 2 years ago or 3 years ago, commercial wind and solar was prohibited. So there was a policy created then that prohibited those two commercial industries with wind and solar. So with doing the those went in effect 2.5 years ago, but then they're officially put in this book if we approve it. So it continues the prohibition of the commercial wind and solar. So what's going on out there, there's activity going on out there, but they have not applied for a permit or anything like that. But because it's prohibited, there's no permit for them to request because it's a prohibited industry. So I just
So
want to.
then why are the signs all over the place?
They can put signs up all they want. I mean, they can do what they want. It's,
That I don't know, but.
they
it's-
we can
it's-
only go by based on what they submit or
There is
don't
still
submit.
interest in the county for solar and wind. There will
Mhm.
always be interest in rural land for renewable energy.
I'm all for that, just not for entire many square miles of it.
So when we created the new policy 2.5 years ago, we have provisions for residential wind or solar. So if people want to put residential, they can, and there's definitions that describes that and sizes and things like that. And
Yeah, I'm all
it's,
for that.
it generates for their own property. But the commercial wind and solar, we defined fairly detailed, and that's what's prohibited. So,
I like to hear that.
whatever they're doing out there, if it's commercial solar, it's a prohibited industry in this county at this time. And so that's officially being put in the book as we finalize this
You just
comprehensive
made
plan.
my day.
So I just wanted to clarify that when you thought we were voting.
I was really freaking out about this when I heard about it.
Right.
And,
So, yep, there's just been some activity down there, and people have gotten kind of upset with what's
They
going on.
do that on the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah or Western Kansas,
Right.
where the water's running out, but not here.
With the prohibition still in place, it gives us a chance to address the issues that I brought up.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Which would be road agreements and.
There's all kinds of stuff in land use and the county's participation in regulating, because almost everything goes out the window. You can't say yes or no, kiss mine to anybody. Once they decide they're in, they can change and do and add and subtract. They're in control, and that can't stand.
And by the way, I've lived here for 13 years now, at where I'm at, and best place I've ever lived. I love it here. Nearest neighbor half mile away. Boy, you know, the county road crew does really good work, the rural water is really good, everything's good. So, I hate to complain about anything.
So the continuing, close it down is a good thing, because it gives us a chance to address the issues that are going on. And that would be better for all of us. Whether you're for or against, you've got to get those issues taken care of. And I think she's got the capability to be able to do it, if you give her a chance and give her the people.
Okay, what would a resolution number be?
2025-15.
125-15. So, the motion I would need would be to approve resolution 2025-15, a resolution concerning the adoption by reference of the comprehensive plan for all of the unincorporated portion of Osage County, Kansas. And to amend page 15 to state all of it purchases water from rural water number 3 and to remove bullet point 5 from page 84.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Safest time home, I guess. Here you go, Brandon. Put the pin in your hand. You'll have to save that. Oh, sorry. We'll have to save that for when we see it.
Does he know how to stand?
You have to take that up with him afterwards. Unless you want to ask him now, I guess you can ask him now if he approved that, but I would just give him a call. Okay, anything else on the comp plan? All right, very good, and good work. I mean, whether you agree with it or not, you guys worked really hard putting that together. It was a long time coming, so
Yeah.
it was good.
First day here was our first meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Well, I don't think you can go anywhere, actually. I think you'll be joined by Ms. Ruff in our fee discussion.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am?
Okay, so I did and this was real quick. I went through from 22 to 24. So there's
Through July of 24, through July of 24, or all of 24? Okay.
So we had 12, possibly 13 homes that are finished that have not been assessed. 7 of them are from 22. Let's see, 3 from 23, and the rest were possibly done in 24. So then we had 6, 16, 21 that their first year would be in 2025. And then I went through all of these highlighted ones from 22, and I didn't count all of them. These yellow highlights, 23, more for 23, another one for 23, and then 24's back taxes. Then I went through some of these, not just back taxes, but if they're done, they never contacted us to tell us that they were done. So I have those marked. Then I have some that have sold, but either they have back taxes, had back taxes until they sold, or we didn't know that they were finished or completed until they were sold. So you have one where it's, when it was done in 22 and then it sold in 24, well, they didn't pay the 23 taxes because nobody knew it was finished until 24 when it sold, so it really didn't get taxed until 25. And these are all minutes, we want these, and the print-offs.
So do we need to schedule like a work session to work through those at some point, or?
I think we need to leave it to those folks to come in and apply and do the work themselves. I mean, I think,
I didn't know what the request to us was, like if there's something we're needing to make a discussion on.
Well, you tabled this to this week so you can talk to Josh. And if this gets approved, I can guarantee you
I can't, what are you pointing
the one from last week.
to? I thought we approved that last year.
We did but we did not make it formal, no motion was made. We
Oh.
directed them to do a little research, and then we were supposed to reach out to Josh, which I did reach out to Josh. And we are in agreement. We both feel like this one kind of stands out because of the situation and how it was pushed. And based on being pushed from this side of the table is kind of what sets this one apart.
Okay. So-
The other ones, they obviously had the same education about what they're supposed to do or didn't.
See, that's where it
But I
gets to
think they need
be,
to appeal or approach.
to come in and
Right.
get on the agenda. Okay.
Right. I think is the only fair way to do it. That's what these folks did. They appealed it.
So they need to be notified that there's an issue with their application and they need to come in, or what? How do we want it? I mean, do we need to have a time frame so that way this don't trickle on for a long time? Like just, there's a time frame that any of those that have issues that they need to come in at within a certain date to try to resolve
I would
it?
say that we write up a letter and get that mailed out to the property owner and say, basically, your application on 22-23, they still have time with most of 24s unless it's a back tax issue. But say, if there's an issue with your NRP application, we need to, get on the agenda, and we can put the link in there for them to get on the agenda, so that way you're not getting 50 calls as well.
Yeah.
And then,
And what time frame do you want to give that they need to do that?
well, with the mail,
I'm just, for you guys, for your sake, we don't want it to drag on for months and months and months. Like,
Right.
they get a certain time frame and try to have.
I would say
Like 8 weeks?
the 1st of August,
Okay.
because then that way we can have that finished, cleaned up by the time we have the new one ready for you guys at the end of August.
Yeah.
So there's a.
And then we can, depending on how many we have, we can bring them all in at a meeting, or we can have an extra meeting, or something of that nature, but at least give it that time to
Yeah.
collect how many are out there.
And so if there's no response at all from them, it's just,
Right.
okay.
You know, I think that's fair. On this other file,
Do we need to make a formal motion or
yes,
something?
I will need a motion to approve, the R number is your file number, correct? Need a motion to approve the 2024 NRP file number R8892.
So moved.
Did you catch that, Brandon?
Yeah, I think so. Was Josh, the question was, earlier on, was if Josh was, if we were setting too big of a precedent or not. Did you have that discussion with him? I had two.
Yeah, I spoke with him about it, and he feels that this one does kind of stand above the rest just because of the shortcomings on our side of the table previously, in the previous years. So he didn't feel that it would set too large of a precedent, and he was comfortable with it.
All right, so the motion was to approve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Where'd Mr. Wells go? I know he's always busy. Could you send him in, Michelle? Thank you.
It's locked.
Real funny, huh? Real funny. It's going. Nice. Crazy. Hey, Brandon.
So 2 o'clock is just one thing. Oh, communication? Oh, it does say communication.
Yeah, so basically, you talk to the shore, you talk to the
Underwater. That's amazing. How do you talk underwater? How do you talk underwater? You gotta have all, I mean, you gotta be,
Well, it's in the mask, though.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all built in. It's good.
And it's hardwired to the boat, which, these little speaker things.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it.
Huh? I'm glad there's people that know how to do it and are willing.
We land on the moon, should be on top of the water.
Yeah. Although that was 50 years ago, so.
Anyway.
Wasn't it 50 years ago? Yeah. More than that, actually, I
That's
think.
what I meant. I'll need a motion to approve the status payroll change reports brought forth by Mr. Wells.
I didn't hear if you made the motion or you said you asked for it.
I need a motion to approve the status payroll change reports brought forth by Mr. Wells. Catch that, Brandon?
Yeah, I'll just abstain on that one just because I'm not there to look at it.
Yes, sir. I'll second the motion. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
So it's a cheese and milk and gas service.
Yeah, what's the annex?
It's that building.
It's the,
For storage and.
yeah. So, yeah, how come you're, this is a dumb question, but I was just thinking it's storage, so are you putting heat and air out there or something?
Yeah, there's an office.
Oh, okay. Cause I was like, why does he need gas line to a storage building?
That was the just to move it to there? I thought that was the total to move it to the building from your old office.
No, that's just for moving 15. Because they're moving.
You know, we could do that after the meter. It'd probably be a little cheaper. I thought you meant that was KGS service movement from the old building to the new building. That's just
Adding
back
to
to,
the service to the annex building.
yeah,
Because it's apparently it's down.
yeah, because they're gonna put a new meter on it and everything.
They have to move, I think it's 430 feet is what they're gonna lay on.
Oh, so it can't be added to the current building with the current meter?
I mean, it could be.
I don't know.
That's, yeah, it absolutely could be.
Well, do
But-
we need to look into that, or do you?
Yeah, yeah,
They have that, well, they have concrete,
Oh,
all our, yeah,
I don't know. Part of that, they said it gets reimbursed too over 7 years.
Oh.
We read that part, you can actually.
I did see something about that. We have to fill that paperwork out, get that sent back and
Every
then,
year.
oh, you have to fill it out every year. And so that it's a portion of what that was paid.
Right.
So then that'll be your job.
Yes, well.
Right, right.
someone's job, probably not any of us.
Right, no, it'll be in our department.
So Brandon, this purchase order number 4035 is to sink or swim scuba. It is for communications equipment for the dive team. This is our portion of the grant. Our portion of the grant was $16,265.23. How much was the grant in total?
I can't remember the training, 40 something.
So the total, so they paid 40
They
roughly?
pay
and
for
we
all the
paid-
training, all the
Nice.
scuba gear, or whatever it's called. Sorry.
It might be, I mean,
Like the dry suits and all
Right.
that, there's national club and other things that I guess they're actually paying for, they actually got it approved, which is why I'm bringing that, so we get it all
Nice.
done.
Nice. So this was our portion of a grant for this.
I was just saying, when you said a grant, but it's coming out of Lake Patrol.
Our
That's
portion.
coming out, yeah, that's.
Yes, our portion. Have any further questions for that, for Mr. Wells?
No.
So I'll need a motion to approve purchase order number 4035 for communications for the dive team to be, this is Osage County's portion of the grant to be paid to Sink or Swim Scuba from the Lake Patrol Fund in the amount of $16,265.23.
So moved.
So moved.
Oh.
You want to second that? Mr. Smith?
Sure, second, yep.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Have they done that, moved that service already?
No, they're wanting prepayment. So I was gonna bring it to PBC next Tuesday to discuss.
What are you running in there?
It's the heater for the main area and the generator for the area.
Oh, the generators with that. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Complex is said basically that it's, the generator's old enough that he doesn't think he needs just to change it to propane, because it was gonna, propane obviously would be cheaper to do the initial anyway. He said either one of those would be supported. So the only consolation I have is we get reimbursed over 7 years for it, but it would come out of the building.
Right.
I don't know, it's not like it.
I don't know, you're the builder, do you think there's something better?
Well, I mean, whenever you move gas, it's expensive, period.
Is it moving or it's new?
Was added, they're adding to the system.
They're moving 430 feet, so they're adding
Yeah.
on to their original line from around the beginning of Main Street.
Yeah.
There's
They're
a
gonna add
extra
a
amount
tab.
of essentially.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's not cheap to have gas, especially, I'm not sure if they've gone to plastic here yet on the mains. I'll bet there's still mains here, I'll bet. So they'll have to tap that. That's probably why it's expensive. I would ask them who they have doing it,
I can ask them.
because if MPL's gonna do it, or even Kansas Gas, I have to call them with them a little bit. Just to
Love
see.
it, yeah, like, yeah, 'cause like I said, they're very persistent that we're not gonna go to raise the 20,000 and change. So we don't have to have a problem until we're.
Well, with the generators there too, so.
Yeah. We're on battery backup, so it's burning them up for an extended period of time, which
Right.
Lyndon tends to go out.
Then it tends to, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
obviously,
well,
the sooner the better, it's just, my gosh, it's a lot of money.
yeah, I'll give you a call. We'll have a little business about it, maybe stop by. It's not this evening, obviously.
Right.
Sounds like you have other matters. I saw you standing out there, that's a little bit.
Yeah, we got far away, so.
Good, good. Heard somebody drove right through the roundabout.
Well,
She must have hit it and bounced back.
yeah, she hit the, like, coming from, like, because she hit the median
Oh,
and then rolled into where she was.
wow. It's okay.
Yeah, she
Good.
was like,
Very good.
everybody was like, when she was injured.
Very good. All right, thank you, sir. Okay. Let me reach out to Mr. Nye, see if he is available. And while we do that, we have, you want to read through the, read through the morning?
The minutes, I'm doing it right.
Okay.
Is this the Johnson?
I think he sent them to Michelle, she finished it up.
Do I?
Josh says he is available
Okay.
for 15, so. Thank you, the 1 sec. Okay, I will move that we enter into an executive session under the attorney-client privilege for 15 minutes with all three commissioners, Josh Nye and Michelle Morris. That would put us back right at 7.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. No action taken in executive session. We are back. Ms. Morris. Michelle,
Yes.
would you like to make a request?
Yes, I would like that we postpone transitioning over to the 2-week payroll by 30 days, which would put us roughly, without looking at the calendar, August 8th. Payday.
First pay was July 11th, so the first would be July 8th. Yeah.
You mean August?
August.
Oh, yes.
Well, you said August 8th, he said
Okay.
July.
Yeah.
August 8th. Some of the transitioning and stuff's a little bit more complicated on the backside, and I want to make sure that it's gone over and gone over and gone over so that it can be hopefully a smooth transition.
Okay. So just for the record, Michelle has requested we move payroll by 30 days. So we do not start the 2-week payroll cycle for at least another 30 days so that we can get everything fixed and right and done and make sure it's correct and not have any hiccups. So I will need a motion to approve Michelle Morris's request.
So moved. He probably can't hear me. So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. The minutes. Did Brandon get a copy of the minutes?
I did email them to him, but I didn't know if he had a chance to review them, but yes, he did.
Find anything in there, Brandon?
On what?
It was a
Meeting
little
minutes?
later in the day, so
I haven't seen it. I
tell him to check his email.
Said check your email.
Well, I went through all
The
the
bills.
AP reports, 34 pages, whatever it was.
Cool.
Jeez Louise.
If you are looking at the total, the last half of appropriations isn't there, that's why it's so much.
Oh, okay, so this is from the 17th, just,
Yeah, last week's meeting.
okay, yeah, very good. Sorry, I didn't see those, I didn't check the email in the last, couple hours here. I did get them.
All right. Did you see anything in there, Heather?
On the minutes, no.
We'll need a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
So moved, okay, I'll second it then.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. There you are.
On one of the bills, on the CIC annual, it's actually, I think, less than it has been, but they're still charging us for website hosting, county website, another website hosting. Now, it says CIC website hosting, so maybe we do need that, but anything dealing with a website, they should have removed that. And then Time Clock Plus?
Time Clock Plus is left on there just in case we may need to,
Oh, this says due date February 1st. of
Yeah,
this
they
year.
left the first initial date on it.
So is this an annual?
Yes.
Invoice date is 2/1 of '25. So this runs till 2/1 of '26. It doesn't say.
Yeah. it
This
does.
is just the,
But it is decreased on
it's,
there.
it's normally like 60 something.
Yeah, they did prorate it down. The hosting, you gotta think all of our tax system goes there to do its generated pull-up.
So yeah, some of that website hosting CIC Cloud might be something we
Yeah.
need, but then there's one that literally just says county website. And I don't know if we need that, since we've got Civic Plus. These other ones I don't know.
Now, I'll just see exactly where they upload, but
So Time Clock Plus says 2/1/25 to 6/30/25. So eventually that will fall off, I think.
yes.
I kind of put little dots next to that, but those are just things that I guess I should have put question marks. And the employee portal, it's only $55, but it's still on there. But some of those things might be able to drop off. But I don't know. They may interface with part of CIC, excuse me. What's on your shoes?
No, that's a clean floor. That's what it's supposed to sound like.
Sounds like a goop or something on that.
It is kind of funny, though. It's like I'm walking on a balloon.
Yeah.
Sweet, getting caught up, ain't you?
In there.
That's what that means. $500,000 worth of bills.
Mm.
Is this a separate, just a separate one that came in late, 19,000?
Yeah, that was a different.
This for fuel.
Yeah.
That was
So-
a different,
But yeah, there's that one, this one, and there was one more. That was I did it as a hand check.
Oh, Danny. Was Danny's the one?
These three are the ones that we signed. I did this one as a hand check so that I didn't create a whole vendor in the system.
Gotcha.
Because that's silly.
Mr. Chair,
yes, sir.
so the AP report that I have, the total on it comes up to, 483,000. Is that the one you guys are looking at? Do you have later additions that I don't have?
There is not a later addition, but there are two additions. So there is an addition for fuel shop fuel in the amount of $19,467.03. I'm gonna total these up actually while I'm telling you. $19,467.03. And there is a hand check totaling $50. And then there is, oh, no, there's only 2 additions. Because this is the same. Or do you have another one in here?
They should all have whites or yellow stickies on them.
Yeah, there's a
think
yellow
one-
sticky, yellow
2
sticky.
additions and then this is the.
Yeah, then the regular.
Yep.
Okay, so there was just 2 additions, I apologize. And those additions total $19,517.03. So then the total with the additions is $502,811.14.
Like I said, I spent one of the mornings out on the deck drinking coffee, going through that, going through these, so I'm pretty comfortable with what I have in front of me on it anyway. So, I don't know, I think Heather was saying some things, but, she had some marks next to some of hers.
Yeah, it was just in regards to the annual renewal for CIC,
Yeah.
right? And there were a few items on there that dealt with the website or web hosting. And the website, should be dropping off because we have Civic Plus, we've had for a couple of years, so I think that one should be dropped off. And there's a couple other things related to web hosting that maybe we don't need either, that they need to remove possibly.
Okay.
So I just.
I didn't know the backstory on that stuff yet.
Yeah, they were initially, CIC is who our website was through initially, and then we moved to Civic Plus. Is it Civic Plus, Civic Core Plus, or Civic Plus? Because CIC didn't have any upgrades or anything available to improve, so.
But they still talk to each other, because like at midnight or whatever, it rolls over, the tax stuff uploads to our stuff, so I think there has to be something still.
On that web hosting side.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put dots next to things that I just, basically was kind of like question marks, like, do we need this, should they, or should they be dropping that stuff off? But
Sure.
I
No, I appreciate that. I'll try to keep that in mind when I see those, say, well, is this what we're using, or is this an extra one?
Yeah, because it might be something that maybe they should have taken off, and then there might be things on there that are still connected in some way. So. But the bill was less, normally it's in the 60s, and it was like 50,000, so it is less. So, which is nice.
We'll need a motion to approve paying the bills in the amount of $502,811.14 in total.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Smith, would you like to handle the remainder? That was it, right? Let me double check. Yeah, that was the last one. Okay, that is all the business for today.
So I would move that, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. You have a lovely evening, Mr. Smith.